In this video, you'll analyze two ways of representing data, Venn diagrams and two-way frequency tables, and you'll calculate conditional probabilities. Let's say you're doing a study to see if people who play a musical instrument tend to read more books. So you interview 33 people and ask them, A, do you play at least one musical instrument? And B, have you read at least 2 books in the last month? Here are the results. So you see that most people you interviewed don't read, nor do they play an instrument. Next highest is people who do both. We can visualize this data in a Venn diagram as well. Let's say this circle represents those who play at least one instrument, and this circle represents those who have read at least 2 books. There are 8 people in the intersection, those who both play at least one instrument and have read at least 2 books in the last month. There are 5 people here, and 6 people here, and 14 people who do not play an instrument and who also have read only 1 or no books. These events are independent if the probability of one event changes if the other event happens. Let's call this event play for short, and this event read. They're independent if the probability that someone plays a musical instrument is equal to the probability that they play a musical instrument given that they've read at least 2 books. And they're independent if the probability that they've read at least 2 books is equal to the probability that they've read 2 books given that they also play at least one musical instrument. Meaning, even if one event occurs, the probability of the other event occurring remains the same as it would have if the other event had not occurred. So let's calculate these probabilities. The probability that someone plays an instrument is 5 plus 8 divided by the total, 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 14. This is 13 divided by 33, or about 0.39. However, the probability that someone plays an instrument, given that they've read at least 2 books this month, is 8 divided by 14, which is about 0.57. These are different, so we already know that these events are dependent on each other. But let's keep calculating the probability. Probability of read is 14 divided by 33, which is 0.42, and the probability of read given play is 8 divided by 13, which is 0.62. So these events are definitely not independent. You just calculated the conditional probabilities, probability of play given read and probability of read given play. You can also do this using the two-way frequency table. We can calculate the total number of people who play at least one instrument, whether or not they read, which is 13. Once we do this, we see that the probability that someone has read at least 2 books, given that they play at least one instrument, is 8 out of 13, which is what you got from the Venn diagram. Try an exercise yourself. What's the probability that someone plays at least one instrument, given that they have only read 1 or no books? Okay, did you try to figure it out? Let's fill out the rest of the totals and then answer this question. Okay, now we know our subject of interest has read 1 or no books, so that's this column. Given that, what's the probability that someone plays at least one instrument? That's 5 divided by 19, about 0.26. So now you've seen these 2 ways of representing data. You can use either to test for independence and calculate conditional probabilities. Good job!